Welcome back, it's day 3 of making over my garage, and today we're going to attempt to finish out these very neutral green floors. Day 2 of this garage makeover, I did the perimeter of the interior of my garage because I thought it would be easier to do because I'm only one person doing this. If I had a helper, then I probably could have done the whole entire floor, including the perimeter and the edges in one go, but I don't. It's just me, and so this is how I chose to do it. And so the first thing I really need to do on day 3 is to just make sure the concrete is all cleaned up and cleared and there's no debris on it. So I swept up all the extra flakes that I scraped up off of the perimeter edging after it had dried, and I'm just putting those back in the bin. Now for the main part of the floor, I'm using this adhesive and epoxy roller and these spiked shoes that are going to go on the bottom of my tennis shoes, which will allow me to walk across the epoxy without leaving footprints. Now I initially didn't know if these were actually going to be necessary or not, but after having done it, these are absolutely necessary. They have very fine points on the bottoms of the spikes, so you can walk across all the epoxy and do everything you need to do, and it's going to look like you were never there. Now my back has been through it lately with the last couple of projects, and so I am putting this roller on an extension pole so that I don't have to bend over as much. And then the application process for this product is actually really simple. You just mix the bag up and then you roll it on. Now I'm not doing a super thick coat, but I'm not doing a super thin coat either. I'm making sure that it's as even as I can get it. And I'm also trying to work quickly in these sections because I don't want this epoxy to dry out at all before I put any flakes on it. I am also making sure that I overlap anything I'd previously done. So I went a little bit over all those perimeter edges that I did just to make sure I could get a nice even coating. And then I went in heavy with the flakes. Now I know that most people probably aren't going to do it this heavy, and you know what's great about doing this myself is that I can pick how I want it to look, and I want this floor to be completely covered in flakes. I'm trying really hard to apply it in such a way that you really can't see the gray underneath it because I want the majority of my floor to be green. Shocking, I know. And then really all you have to do is just repeat this process and just keep repeating it forever. It gets a little bit tedious, I'm not gonna lie, and in the end my sections got a little bit bigger because I figured I could roll it on really fast and then spread the flakes. But where I really started getting frustrated in this process is when I got to this square. I realized at this point that I was out of flakes, and I thought I had really carefully bought enough, but I didn't. That sucks. So close, and yet so far. Oh. So now I get to order more boxes of flakes, and hopefully I get enough the second time around. So here's your proof that DIY does not always go great.